A few years ago, they were one of the most popular YouTube couples. From relationship goals to a beautiful family and even their own theme song.
Look, Riss Quan, the queen of the dawn. He's from Jamaica. She's Italian. They come together.
Riss and Quan had it all. But underneath the smiles and emotional movements, a betrayal was brewing. This is the story of a YouTube couple that started strong, but soon turned monstrous against their own fans.
So, in today's episode, Riss and I are going to be speaking on a very...
This is Riss and Quan, the YouTube couple exposed for exploiting their subscribers for profit. You've probably seen their faces before, smiling on thumbnails, crying on camera, or holding their baby in a perfect sunset glow.
I'm not aware you left a scar. I fall into your lies all again. Where'd you go?
On the surface, they're everything you'd expect from a successful YouTube couple. Good looks, viral challenges, and a seemingly unbreakable bond. But lately there's been a shift in how their audience sees them. A shift that's turning admiration into suspicion, and the fans into detectives.
They get together, they do a couple videos. Everything's so amazing, we're so amazing. 2 seconds later, they're unfollowing each other on Instagram every 2 seconds.
Because behind the polished relationship montages, there's a growing number of viewers asking one very uncomfortable question. Did they care about the fans? Or has it all been an act to squeeze more money from them? Now, before we dive headfirst into the drama, let's rewind a little.
What's up, YouTubers? My name is Quan, and this is my honey. You see the skin? Carissa. And we're in... we're looking to start a YouTube channel based off our relationship, and I want you guys to comment ideas that you would like to see.
Just a few years ago, Clarissa Caleb and Shaquan Roberts, better known as Riss and Quan, were seen as couple goals. They started their channel in 2018 and quickly found success with their wholesome chemistry, well-produced vlogs, and emotional surprise videos. Whether it was proposal teases, emotional pranks, or pregnancy journeys, their content always had one thing in common. They were curating it for a mixed emotional payoff.
That's right. You don't care, right? That's right.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
And it worked. With over 3.31 million subscribers and hundreds of millions of views, Riss and Quan built an online empire. One vlog at a time, they transformed into a YouTube power couple, with fans so devoted, they'd defend them against anything. But as the subscriber count climbed and their brand expanded into merch, apps, monetized exclusives, anything and everything they could make money out of, they started to look like con artists more than influencers.
So I know what you guys are thinking. You're probably like, skincare routine for a baby? Seriously? But yes, we have been doing this since Shine has been born, and he's never really struggled with baby acne. He's always had super clear skin, and this is just what works for us. I feel like with babies,
their videos started feeling different. A little too perfect, a little too timed, and very greedy. The changes were subtle at first, titles that screamed, "We need to talk," but led to nothing serious. Emotional pregnancy reveals, followed immediately by merch drops. Then came the thumbnails. Riss crying, Quan comforting her, only for the video to be about our baby's new car seat.
But I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I just haven't been keeping it real, you know? And I'm a real person.
Viewers started noticing a pattern. They were using real-life milestones and turning them into a cash cow. Still, at first, no one wanted to say it out loud, because that's just their approach to vlogging, right? It's not like it's illegal or anything. Because questioning a couple like Riss and Quan, that's almost like questioning love itself. Their channel was the poster child of the perfect relationship on the internet.
You can take it off.
Everyone wanted what they had. So when they started acting off, fans just asked themselves if they were being haters. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm just being a hater. They're just sharing their life, right? However, the internet rarely stays quiet for long. On Reddit, threads started popping up in a couple of channel forums with titles like "Didn't Riss apparently cheat a couple months ago, and he swore on his dead sister he was single?" Or "Riss went private, can't take the comments, huh?" TikTokers stitch their most dramatic moments with opinions like, "Why does this feel so scripted?" Commentary YouTubers began dissecting their most popular videos, frame by frame. They highlighted the odd jump cuts, reaction delays, and tone inconsistencies. None of this seemed real to the people looking below the surface. One user pointed out that people follow Riss Quan for their authentic life journey and big moments, but now that their content is becoming generic or simply forced to bring in views, it doesn't feel real anymore.
And I'm gonna be saying that it's small while I'm on the phone with my friend. Like I said, a completely fake conversation. I'm gonna be saying it like right in front of Quan, having an entire conversation, and we're gonna see his reaction.
But perhaps the most glaring red flag? There are timeline inconsistencies in their pregnancy journey. One comment claimed, "I used to love them when they were just a couples channel, but I checked out a little after their first pregnancy because every single video after that was about pregnancy." And when you look at their channel, it really does seem like it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was obvious. Go.
Riss somehow ends up being pregnant for more than the normal amount of time, and when she's due, they simply vanish and don't post to build suspense. However, it would later be revealed that this was part of a planned strategy. Fans who were fully invested in their story noticed oddities. Clothing changes, reuse of B-roll, awkward voiceovers. One Reddit user wrote, "The whole series feels like a mini-series with a script and release schedule, not a couple going through real milestones." Yet, despite mounting evidence, Riss and Quan have remained mostly silent about the accusations. They occasionally addressed haters in vague terms, saying things like, "People will always try to tear us down," or "If it ain't positive, we don't entertain it." But those responses felt less like denial and more like deflection.
So today, Quan and I are going to be sitting down and talking to you guys and just addressing all of the hate that we've been receiving over the past couple of weeks. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have noticed it, and I just feel like our true supporters are a little bit confused.
And it was not just about staged emotions. Their fans started asking more questions, like why does every serious moment get paired with a sponsor? Why is their mobile app charging fans for baby updates? And why does every tear-filled video end with a reminder to like, comment, and subscribe? By now, people were getting so fed up that they were looking forward to the inevitable breakup of the couple. For longtime followers, these questions weren't just shocking, they were heartbreaking. Because if Riss and Quan are scripting their relationship, if the tears, the arguments, the milestones are just for clicks, then what does that say about all the people who emotionally invested in them? If there's one thing we know, it's that the Riss and Quan fanbase was no longer united. Half the comments on their newer videos were still filled with heart emojis and "you guys are such goals" messages. But the other half, not so kind. Words like manipulative, fake, and emotionally exploitative became more common. It wasn't blind hate, they felt exploited and had growing proof to back it up.
I done sat up here and wasted 38 minutes and 55 seconds of my time.
Still, maybe none of this would have mattered. Maybe the cracks would have stayed small, but something changed that made it impossible to ignore. Something that turned quiet suspicions into loud accusations. Because the moment you start turning every relationship struggle into a monetized video series, your love story becomes your business model, and the people here for some real lifestyle vlogging start having second thoughts.
She cheated on you or whatever the case is, but give us something to where we could be like, okay, damn, we understand, we get it. It's not all the way in depth of what happened.
And unfortunately for Riss and Quan, that question is now at the center of their brand. And we aren't just talking monetization of content, we're talking about entitlement and the kind of behavior where they feel the fans owe them money.
Before we get into today's chit-chat session, we just want to remind you guys to make sure that you guys enter our giveaway.
The accusations go far beyond faking it for views. Because what happens when your relationship becomes the product? And your baby becomes a brand asset? What we're about to uncover now might just explain why people are calling Riss and Quan the fakest couple on the internet. By now, we know Riss and Quan are no strangers to putting on a show for their viewers. But the backlash really started getting intense when fans began catching on to just how often that performance looked off. Not just overly emotional or exaggerated, but simply made for the viewer's pleasure with nothing real behind it.
Huge turnoff, like, it's a huge turnoff. Always choose the toes over the nails. Even the one time I heard you just say nail.
The signs were everywhere. From out-of-hand pranks and fake reactions, to edited thumbnails and clickbait. Riss and Quan seemed not to care for authenticity anymore as long as the views kept coming. In early 2021, they dropped a thumbnail that screamed trouble. Riss was in tears. Quan looked distant. The title? The End of Rissa and Quan. Naturally, fans panicked. Some thought they were splitting. Some thought there had been a tragedy. Instead, it was just a 14-minute video about the stress of COVID and the launch of their OnlyFans. There wasn't even any breakup in the whole 14-minute video. It was one of their clickbait tactics to use emotional titles that played into the audience's interests.
I just want to let you guys know the OnlyFans platform wasn't originally created for that. I'm not judging anybody that do what they do on OnlyFans, but just know that we're not going to be doing crazy stuff like that.
Over the next few months, a pattern emerged. Emotional thumbnails became the norm. Titles like, "He left us," "Do you want to break up?" and "I broke up with her before her birthday" brought in hundreds of thousands of views. But once you clicked, most of these moments were exaggerated, resolved within minutes, or clearly part of a challenge or prank. One viewer commented, "I honestly read the comments before I even watch the video, because that's the easiest way to find out if the video is a waste of time like the rest."
Say that it's for an image and it's for clout, it's for all of that, and that's why I stopped supporting them.
And while dramatizing isn't new on YouTube, there's a line between emotional storytelling and emotional baiting, especially when it involves things like pregnancy scares, relationship counseling, or mental health. Now, let's be clear, these two are charismatic. They know how to hold your attention, but as their channel matured, many fans became jaded by how rehearsed it all seemed. More and more began to believe that nothing Riss and Quan did was ever a coincidence. It was all planned.
Can you please understand?
Babe, I can't sleep without you, seriously. Come on, you can't sleep without me.
Oh, cut it out. Come on, stop it. Babe.
Come on, you stop.
Why are you trying to sweep me up? I just want to sleep by myself, that's all.
One video titled "He Left Us" showed Riss holding Sheena, while Quan was seen leaving with a suitcase. To any viewer, especially one who looked at the thumbnail, it looked like he was walking out on his family.
But yeah, today we have a really, really busy, ram-packed day, long day. We have to get so much stuff done before Quan leaves. His flight isn't until like early tomorrow morning, but he's got to leave here at the house like 5 in the morning. Yeah, so.
Except in the next clip, they're talking about a family vacation to Las Vegas that will happen soon, and helping Quan pack since he's leaving early. The video is shortly followed by another video where Riss claims to be a single mom in the thumbnail and title, but she isn't. She's just staying at home while her husband is away.
And let me tell y'all, chasing after a toddler all day on your own is not for the weak. I've been so exhausted.
But the real turning point came with their infamous emotional prank series, where they trick each other with fake crying, fake cheating accusations, or dramatic confessions. It started as lighthearted content, but after a while, it became exhausting. The die-hard fans claim they enjoy it, but those looking deeper than the thumbnails are getting tired of their antics. For those who stuck by them, defending the content as entertainment with a sprinkle of reality, even their argument began falling apart once commentary creators entered the scene.
The most recent one is our last Q&A before baby is here. It's almost time. It's just about being pregnant. That's it. I'm sure she's had the answering your TMI questions about our relationship. Maybe I'll snark on that someday. Yeah, gender reveals.
YouTubers like Bella Bay, Zane Grey, Maxinice Reactions, Big Wave God Made It began breaking down their eye contact, their tone, and their body language. Some even brought in footage experts to show how moments were refilmed or edited in a way that breaks continuity.
Apparently, Rissa, unfortunately, she had a miscarriage through this breakup, and she claimed she didn't know she was pregnant.
In one breakdown, many pointed out that Quan didn't even look like he wanted to be there. At this point, many speculated he was just there for the views or his kids, but he and Riss were definitely over. That's what set people off. If you're done with your relationship, why are you pretending to have one just for the audience? Because if there's one element YouTube couple channels thrive on, it's real emotional intimacy. Viewers feel like they know these people. They cry with them, celebrate with them. But when you attack the very fan base that brought you to your fame, you don't come back from it unscathed.
Acting all bougie and uppity now. And y'all wasn't like that before. And what did I say in my last video? Y'all acting like y'all don't need us anymore. Yes, you do. Because by calling us broke and calling us all these things, you're basically saying that, hey, forget y'all. We got what we needed out of y'all and we're good.
Their once glowing comment sections began filling with skeptical voices. You guys are playing with people's emotions. It's always, we need to talk, but never anything real. You're just actors at this point. And unlike traditional celebrities, Riss and Quan couldn't hide behind press teams or Hollywood scripts. Their brand was built on being authentic, on inviting fans into their home, their arguments, and their milestones. So when that authenticity came into question, everything was scrutinized. Their channel, their merch, their paid app, even their sponsors.
We would be pitched for like the same like campaign or something like that. A lot of times we wouldn't be chosen
at the bottom of the list.
At the bottom of the list,
Yeah.
or like they're not gonna really choose us.
And here's where things really start to turn. Because while fake fights and scripted tears are one issue, turning your whole channel into a cash grab? That was bound to blow up into real outrage.
Their most popular video, there it is, meeting our baby's first time. Live birth, 10 million views. 10 million views of people wanting to watch a woman give birth on camera.
By 2022, Riss and Quan weren't just YouTubers thriving on clickbait, they were cutthroat business people wanting to ruthlessly exploit what remaining loyal fan base they had. They launched an app called Riss Quan, a paid subscription platform where fans get access behind-the-scenes content, baby updates, wedding planning, and supposedly raw, unedited moments. Now, the app wasn't cheap. Fans paid anywhere from $4.99 to $14.99 a month, and for a while it worked. Their most loyal supporters migrated there for the promise of intimacy, realer than YouTube, more vulnerable, more personal. But soon complaints started rolling in. Because the paid subscribers really weren't getting anything new. It was like a fast pass to major reveals or even full interviews where they got no information, just endless fillers at the cost of more money. That's when a new term entered the conversation: emotional monetization. Should viewers who are invested in their online relationship really be charged more simply because they care?
Yeah, you guys know that we put our entire lives out there, so it definitely comes with a lot. And at times, it could definitely like take a mental toll on you negatively, and you could just like be struggling mentally at times because there's so many opinions out there. And honestly, I feel like now especially, Quan and I just realized like the importance of mental health, and it's definitely very important. As you guys know, as we mentioned before, something that we found very helpful is speaking to a therapist, and we've been doing that through BetterHelp, who is actually the sponsor of today's video.
Yeah, so BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice.
Suddenly, everything Riss and Quan did came with a price tag. A vulnerable story? Leave a tip. A big life event? Buy the hoodie. An honest Q&A? Get the app. Fans started realizing they weren't being invited into someone's life. They were being sold a carefully curated version of it, a product disguised as reality. They weren't looking for passive income. They were actively manipulating their audience and building an empire. As more and more fans started connecting the dots, backlash hit new levels. Old supporters began turning into critics. TikTokers started trends like Riss and Quan be like, mocking their thumbnails, fake crying, and dramatic clickbait. Entire reaction channels started growing off their content, exposing their tactics, replaying fake moments, and calling out their profit-first strategy. And Riss and Quan? They stayed mostly quiet, occasionally dropping passive-aggressive comments in their videos. We do this for the real ones, or haters gonna hate, but never directly addressing the accusations. The funny thing is, they release addressing the hate videos almost every year, but never really talk about it. It's clickbait at its finest. Unfortunately for them, playing it cool hasn't been the smart move. Because the internet thrives on information gaps, and when you don't give people answers, they start creating their own. Conspiracy threads multiplied. Viewers began analyzing timestamps, outfits, and video schedules, trying to prove just how deep the performance went. At this point, the idea of Riss Quan being real was becoming laughable in certain circles. Their once bulletproof image was now riddled with holes, and each new upload only added fuel to the fire. Fans felt duped. Former stans began posting "why I unsubscribed" videos. Even casual viewers were catching on.
I don't think it has anything to do with cheating. I don't know. I feel like it has something to do with the pregnancy for some reason. I don't know.
Yet, their saga was only about to take a worse turn. Because as bad as the fake fights, emotional thumbnails, and paid baby updates were, they would go on to resort to outright lying just for the sake of money. So far, we've talked about dramatized emotions, sketchy thumbnails, and some incredibly misleading titles, but nothing compares to what we're about to expose. The reality behind Riss Quan's deceit went beyond monetization. Every YouTuber nowadays tries to find ways to make more money, but Riss Quan, they now begin to charge for content with no additional value. It was just like the free stuff, but for a price. Let's start with the paid content. Riss Quan's Patreon was launched as a way to bring fans closer to the couple, and on the surface, it looked innocent enough. A few vlog-style exclusives, some extended content, maybe a live Q&A or two.
Like, see, the same day the doctor cleared you. Why are you wiping your face like that? Like, oh man.
But very quickly, fans realized they weren't just paying for extra content, they were being locked out of emotional milestones unless they paid. Videos teased on YouTube with phrases like "full moment in our app" or "watch the full clip on R&Q exclusive" weren't just filler, they were the core of the story. Imagine watching your favorite TV show, but every emotional plot point was hidden behind a paywall. That's what this became. Plus, it wasn't just the content. Even giveaways, which used to be free for most of YouTube's history, were now paid access. Pay $5 to participate, almost as if they were counting on the followers to make up the giveaway amount themselves. Even pregnancy updates were teased like premium content. To many, it felt like they were in a subscription trap. You pay to watch the gender reveal, then you pay again for nursery updates, then you pay again to see the baby's first birthday. And the worst part, many of the important videos are less than 5 minutes long. And this wasn't just an isolated complaint. Comment sections, Reddit threads, and even TikTok duets began circulating with one theme in common. Riss and Quan are using your emotions to empty your wallet.
After a while, the videos were always clickbait. There were always something completely different than what the video was about.
And when you start calculating it, the math makes sense. If even 10,000 of their fans subscribed to the mid-tier plan, they were making over $75,000 a month just from app subscriptions, not including YouTube AdSense, brand deals, merch, or affiliate links. To put it simply, they were making bank from fans too naive or emotionally invested to see that it was all scripted. But still, they weren't satisfied. They wanted more, and things were about to take a darker turn. Once you start turning every personal milestone into a revenue stream, the next question becomes inevitable. If the pregnancies were just a content arc, what did that make the children?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that question started gaining serious traction. Let's be clear, no one is outright accusing Riss Quan of having children just for views, but what people are saying is that the way they handled the pregnancies, and everything after, felt disturbingly strategic.
Why don't you shut the f*** up?
It started with their first child. New hints at pregnancies became the star of thumbnails again and again. At multiple points of the pregnancies, they would make a big deal that her water broke, when only for it to just be another prank.
I think, you gotta get my stuff out of our room, babe. Hurry up.
Over time, it became the highlight of their channel. From clickbait titles like preparing for a water birth, preparing for an at-home birth, rushing Riss to the emergency room, the baby's almost here, with little to no content about the birth of their child.
Yeah, look at Rissa grubbing while we wait for the doctor to come back. You got hungry, babe?
I didn't get to eat earlier.
When you see the video, it's her casually talking about how she's feeling discomfort and then eating at the hospital. Things start to get weird when their infant children become the focus of the channel. For many, this was disturbing simply because it invaded the children's privacy.
Usually what we do is we give a little steroid. He takes that by mouth.
People also noticed that Riss was making Instagram pages for all her children, and they knew she wanted to get them monetized as well.
And I can respect the fact that you said you will never understand why influencers do this, because you probably wouldn't understand unless you're in our predicament.
And if that wasn't enough, the volume of content skyrocketed post-pregnancy. Weekly updates, parenting Q&As, matching family outfit hauls. It felt less like a family adjusting to parenthood and more like a content farm.
Hi, my name is Secure.
No more baby.
A now deleted Reddit post from a former fan claimed to have subscribed to the app during the newborn phase. They said there were baby milestones announced as coming soon, but when the videos dropped, they were like 30 seconds long with zero context. It was just a shot of the baby and a pitch for merch. Another thing we noticed was the alarming number of thumbnails saying rushing Shine to the ER over a single year. On countless occasions, they used health scares to draw in views. The fans who could relate to pregnancy struggles stayed on board. Everyone else, they started seeing the babies as their cash cows. Riss and Quan didn't care. They were rolling in money. But little did they know, a reckoning was in the making. There was trouble in paradise, even for the couple that seemed to be faking it. Rumors started to spread that Riss cheated on Quan, and that's why the two had an especially bad fallout. But the thing is, that was just speculation. Sure, there were breakup videos, and the two did talk about the part of their lives where they had a rough patch, but it wasn't anything official.
Rissa and I went through a severe rough patch in our relationship. This situation definitely put the strength of our relationship to a test.
However, fans noticed that Quan just wasn't himself anymore. He was more reserved, his body language was different, and his social media activity, that was suspicious in its entirety. He posted suspicious stories like single 4L on my sister, or this cryptic quote. While he was posting heartbroken stories, the channel was uploading content like usual, and Riss was glazing over her perfect relationship. Fans found similar inconsistencies when the family was supposed to be on vacation, as the video upload suggested, but Quan was posting about how grateful he was to have his mom's homemade food again.
On the flip side, if it was just because people are being nosy and just want something to speak about and to bash us some more.
Around this time, the fanbase started to turn on Riss. She was seen as the cheater who caused issues in this loving relationship, and all the sympathy was with Quan. Yet, when the time came to address the matter, Quan denied that any cheating had taken place.
We're in way too deep. We have a home together, we have children together, we put in time together, years together.
It's not even about that, babe. You didn't even have a conversation.
So, was he lying about his sister's death, or were the couple actually on a break? They haven't come clean about it yet. But for a duo that has faked breakups in the past and owned up to it, it isn't new what they were doing. And they charged money for the whole exclusive.
Am I single? No, I still have to come back home.
Yeah, wait, where you going?
This is our home.
But there's a bigger issue at hand that people seem to be ignoring. Riss and Quan had started to disregard their fan base. Their content was so heavily catered toward making passive income that they weren't afraid to upset fans. They were too big to ever fail, they thought. At one point in their recent fame, they began to excessively associate their fans with being broke or not wanting to see them prosper. Quan was even confronted with this in a Q&A where he dismissed the question instead of apologizing. Talk about character downfall.
That's true. I mean, like you. You're far more interesting than the way you dress.
Even with the birth of their most recent child, Secure, the couple went to great lengths to monetize the endeavor, even when Riss faced complications during the childbirth process. They put up a $15 early access fee on the live birth stream to confirm the gender, only for the whole thing to end up on YouTube a while later. What's crazier is that the people who subscribed to their paid channels via Patreon and OnlyFans were quick to share the special access news with the fandom. from early gender reveals to baby names and first pictures of their newest son. Their response? To sue the individuals for breaching their privacy. Some fans noted that these things were going to end up on YouTube anyway, so was it really that big of a deal?
This is where things got interesting. One fan, among the many who paid for early access, went on to create a YouTube channel and uploaded a video revealing the baby's gender. The video included a short clip showing Rissa holding the baby, with Quan standing beside her, announcing that it's another boy. Thousands have already watched the video. Now here's the twist: Rissa and Quan saw the video and left a comment saying they intend to sue the person who posted it.
Now, we know all platforms have their rules for security and providing a good experience, but more than privacy, the couple seemed to be upset that their extra income channels were being sidelined. But who was to blame? The YouTube system, the parasocial economy, the fan culture, all fed into the same machine. A machine that turned love into clickbait, vulnerability into revenue, and the children into merchandise. So when we ask, are Riss and Quan the fakest couple on YouTube, maybe the better question is, did we help create such a monster? And will we continue to support them? It's been around 7 years since Riss and Quan first appeared on YouTube as the sweet, supportive couple with big smiles and bigger dreams. But fast forward to 2025, the channel feels different. The uploads are still coming, regularly scheduled, beautifully edited, filled with soft music and soft lighting.
What's good, Unbreakable family? Welcome back to the channel, you guys. So this is our first video of the new year. We're kicking it off. Got a nice little break in. I'm feeling good, feeling refreshed, feeling revived. Quan is actually at a massage appointment right now. He's been working out like crazy, so his body has been super sore, so he decided to book a massage this morning.
They still hit the trending page. They still rack up views. The thumbnails still have tears. They're still talking about postpartum traumas and still using their children to bring in the views. But the comments are mixed. The energy is gone, and so is most of the fan loyalty.
I gotta show you guys. Right, here's the birthday boy, y'all. Handsome as ever.
Big 30.
Big 30. How you feeling? I mean, it's kicking off your birthday weekend vibes. It's not your birthday yet. How are you feeling, babe?
I feel the same. I feel like I'm getting old, but I feel the same.
Okay, that's good.
I feel blessed though. Blessed is the best way to express it.
Some people believe that they gave their children weird names just to start conversations about them and bring in more views. But when conversations do happen, they make passive-aggressive videos calling fans out. People are quick to forgive the monetization when they have a baby on their hands. A die-hard base is always supporting the couple and hoping they stay happy and healthy. But those who have turned critical are growing louder.
And while opinions are one thing, it's gotten to the point where both Riss and Quan are clearly over it. Rissa took to Instagram stories and made it clear she's been blocking a lot of people. She basically said the number of people she's had to block in the last 24 hours is wild, and joked that if you've got something to say, just go comment on her reel so she can block everyone all at once.
One user even called the couple just as immature as the hater, because if Riss and Quan were getting hate, they were dishing out just as much of it. The tragedy of Riss and Quan isn't that they faked a few pranks or stretched the truth in their titles. Everyone on YouTube does that. The real tragedy is that they built something beautiful. A relationship that inspired millions and slowly turned it into something unrecognizable.
Who fell in love first? Who's more annoying when they're hungry? Who's the homebody in the relationship? Who's more spoiled? Who's more grumpy? Who lies more? Who takes care of the other when drunk? Who has better hygiene?
Yep.
And where did it get them? They haven't been getting as many new subscribers to their channels as they did in the peak of their career. In all honesty, this doesn't make sense, as their recent videos in 2025 were some of their most popular. But as noted before, they all sought to make money off their children, pregnancy, or breakup rumors.
Rissa and Quan are catching heat yet again after they're now trying to charge their supporters for their podcast. As you can see here, they posted this juicy podcast that they're charging people $14.99 to view. One of their supporters stated, "I've been a lawyer follower for years, but cannot afford the subscription.
all the way from South Africa. The exchange rate is wow. Would really appreciate it if the podcast episodes were on YouTube. And others stated,
The opinions may be biased, but statistics speak for themselves. People are starting to catch up, and it's only downhill for the couple from here. Now, here's where we get to the uncomfortable part. Maybe Riss and Quan didn't change. This has always been their strategy, but we see the same strategy with other YouTubers like Nick Nay or Cena as well. So, are we really put off by a family doing it to get clout?
Oh, shit! Alright, I might get a skill.
Are you okay?
Have a good life! What the f*** are you doing here?
Because if the past 5 years have taught us anything, it's that the line between entertainment and exploitation is getting thinner, and fans are getting smarter. We know when a pregnancy reveal is timed with a brand deal. We know when a crying thumbnail is bait. We know when the content isn't for us, it's for the algorithm. So is it really shocking that people are calling Riss and Quan the fakest couple on YouTube?
Just hit me on my face.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my lip gloss.
Oh, my
You see
glasses?
it?
Are you serious?
Did I put it in my bag?
Check your bag.
That's what I'm looking. Can't find it.
Babe, you for real?
Or is it just inevitable? Because when you reward performance more than authenticity and expect all the creators to go viral, then you're adding to the reasons that push them to act the way they do.
Yeah, you guys know how much Quan and I love each other. Like, I love you
Love you too.
so much.
And here's the brutal truth. You can't blame creators for playing the game a certain way if the game was built to be played that way. So maybe the real question isn't, are Riss and Quan fake? Maybe it's, if they're fake, then why do people keep supporting them? Let us know what you think the future of Riss and Quan is like, and do you know any other family YouTubers who are headed in the same direction?